we've been doing our breakout player series on this show for the better part of last, I guess, couple of weeks. I want us to revisit a player that I've talked about a couple of times on this show. Oregon tight end Kenyon Sadiq, I think, is about to go ballistic here in 2025. Dude is 6'3", 245 pounds, and he is like just a freak show, dude. He's hurdling over DBs. They're throwing him screen passes. They're throwing him shovel passes. The way they use Kenyon Sadiq in the Oregon offense, does Will Stein, is that like the same way you would use a slot wide receiver. And so when I start to break down what I think he's going to be in 2025, nobody is Brock Bowers, but he is the Big Ten version of Brock Bowers, in my opinion. Like he's going to be top 3, maybe top 2 on the team in catches. You go watch the spring game. Yogi Ross on the call does a phenomenal job for the Big Ten Network, talking about they want to get him 80 catches during the course of the season. You get 80 catches, you'll be an All-American. Well, Kenyon Sadiq, and I think he will be, quite frankly. But going back to what I said, the athleticism paired with the size, you hear the phrase matchup nightmare thrown around kind of casually. He is legitimately that. He's too big for DBs, probably too strong for most DBs, too fast for linebackers. Terrence Ferguson, tight end last year for Oregon, ran a 4.6 40 at the combine. I'm not a scout, but I watched a lot of football. Kenyon Sadiq, to me, looked faster than a one Terrence Ferguson. So let's just say that Kenyon Sadiq's like 4.5. 6'3", 245 at a 4.5 40 with that volume of targets. It's going to be huge, man. He's going to be absolutely massive for Oregon here in 2025. The Evan Stewart injury, I think, also is worth noting here. The targets Evan Stewart would have gotten, I think you look at Kenyon Sadiq now and say, okay, we need you to do more here this year, brother. First year starting quarterback. Dante Moore gets pressure. You know who his first look probably will be to in those situations? Big target, big safety blanket, big catch radius, matchup problem. That's Kenyon Sadiq, for my money. So I'm excited to see how he develops, especially in the month of November. When they get to that stretch where they play at Iowa, Minnesota, USC, Washington, at that point, I think Kenyon Sadiq will be a national name. How do they utilize him as a change-up pitch in that offense? When you're all keying on 18, great offensive coordinators use guys as decoys, and then they get DeCorian Moore open. And you get other weapons within the Oregon offense open. The run game keeps rolling. So all that's to say, the way he becomes a counterpunch for them, I think is going to be elite, and I can't wait to see it here this upcoming season.